And you know, I hope that all of you will sign on to Rights and Democracy at the sign-in table up there to help us push forward on things like livable wages and paid family medical leave in the 2017 session, and also, you know, to hold our elected officials accountable. Great. So our MC for the evening is my senator in Chittenden County. He has spent a couple decades in the legislature, first in the House and then the Senate, and has been a progressive champion on issues ranging from marriage equality to GMO labeling, and he will be Vermont's next Lieutenant Governor. So please welcome David Zuckerman.
There's an announcement. What's the announcement?
Yeah. Volkswagen station wagon GHS 130 Vermont license has all its tail lights on. It's parked out.
Station wagon. Anybody got that? All right, your lights are on out there. Thank you, Elise. Thank you, Rights and Democracy. I have to say, Rights and Democracy has been organizing events all over the state this campaign season, and it has been really heartening as a candidate to go to events with a lot of folks. I know this, for some, they may say this is a small crowd, but this is a great crowd. You know, out here in St. John's, I'm so happy to have you all here to hear us talk briefly about so many important issues that we're facing across the state with regard to wages and economic justice, social justice issues, and as well as climate issues. And I apologize if I'm a little stuttered. I'm unfortunately coming down with a cold. So I am going to be emceeing, I guess. So the first person I'm going to introduce is someone who I got to know when I was a legislator in Montpelier, working on children's issues and women's issues, and she's no stranger to all of you, but please welcome Sheila Reed.
Good evening. As David said, my name is Sheila Reed. I'm a founding board member of Rights and Democracy, and I have been a citizen of Caledonia County, a proud citizen, since 1985. I now live in Reigate, but I actually lived in St. John's, very down the street, for 18 years, so I know this town. Why did I join Rights and Democracy? Both of my parents served in World War II. My father as a Marine, my mother as a wave. My father actually fought in the Battle of Iwo Jima and was wounded during that time. Both of my parents were raised in rural poverty in the West, in the Western United States, and this during the Great Depression. And as a child, I heard stories of my father and his cousins trapping blackbirds on their Wyoming homestead so that they could have something to eat. They would do that, plus find some flour and sort of glob it together. The food sounded horrible, but it sustained them during that time. After the war, my father was able to go to college on the GI Bill. And he became a civil engineer and had a long career designing roads for the Wyoming Highway Department. My father and my mother actually became a teacher too, so both of them were able to go to college after World War II. My father told me many times that he would never have been able to attend college without the GI Bill. He is certain that his life would have been very different if he did not have the degree that he received as a result of the GI Bill. As a result of this government program, I experienced a comfortable and middle-class childhood with many opportunities and experiences available to me, including a college and law school education. This is why I joined Rights and Democracy. I want everyone to have the opportunities I had and that were open to me. I want a livable wage of up to at least $15 an hour. I want paid family leave, and I want tuition-free college. That's what my father had, and that moved my family into the middle class. I want to elect the kind of leaders who will fight for these benefits. You'll hear from several of them tonight, and I urge you to vote early or vote on November 9th.
8th.
Oh my God. I would know you. November 8th for those people. Yes, I worry about the future for my 8 grandsons. Not just their financial future, but the planet that will be left for them in the years to come. I spent my entire career working on behalf of our most vulnerable citizens and advocating for progressive social change. So much remains to be done in Vermont and throughout the nation. Working with rights and democracy gives me hope for all of our children. Thanks to the campaign of Senator Sanders, the progressive agenda has come a long way in Vermont, and we want Caledonia County to be part of that movement. If you're interested in joining us, and we want all communities involved, and we want our progressive friends to run for office, as our progressive friends tonight are running. We have a website and a Facebook page, and we're available tonight to sign you up. Thank you.
Just a public service about announcement. The election is November 8th.
Unless you're voting for Hillary, then it's November 9th.
So this next person I'm going to introduce, I've had the fortune to bump into a couple times these last couple weeks. And from an event up in Newport a couple days ago to an event down in Thetford just this afternoon at the Rally in the Valley, working to keep soil in organic. There's a discussion about hydroponics that can be labeled organic here in this country, unlike just about any other country. And I said earlier at that event that soil is to organic what people are to democracy. You can't have it without it. You don't have organic without soil, and clearly you don't have democracy without people, and we're sort of on the edge of that with Citizens United and so forth. But this next person is really, I was very pleased to see him in Newport, and I said it then, I'm going to say it again now, sorry Jack, but also to Ann as well, who's not here. Jack Laser and Ann Laser, as you all know, have been incredible pioneers. They've been incredible inspiration for so many of us who are organic farmers in their wake, at caring for the land, caring for a food production system that nourishes the land, keeps our water clean, and nourishes all of us with healthy food to eat, and cream or sometimes yogurt to eat. So it's just a real honor for me to be able to welcome Jack up to speak for a few minutes to all of us. Jack,
Thank you very much. I'm here to tell you that not only do we need to have soil for organic, but we need to have soil to have a civilization. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, it just seems like our civilization and our society, our culture is just sort of spinning out of control, and it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And it's so difficult for everybody to have enough money left over for me to care for my land or to pay the people who work for me well. And I think it all sort of boils down to that we've just become increasingly corporate as a society. And every time you turn around, somebody's buying somebody, or there's a consolidation here. And it's very interesting because, I mean, I really believe in all these progressive causes like, paying everybody $15 an hour and paid sick leave, but I can tell you, as an employer of 12 to 15 people on my farm that started with just Ann and me delivering our stuff door to door in a beat-up old Ford car in the early 80s, late 70s, and to now, we can't make it anymore. We're supposed to be, big pioneers in organic farming, and I've given my heart and my soul to the earth for all these years. And the marketplace now is just totally, it's just impossible. I mean, I guess what it means is that you got to do it, on your state level. So I guess I'm here just to support all the candidates who want to kind of work to restructure, the values, promote regenerative agriculture, where we take carbon out of the sky and put it in the soil, deindustrializing agriculture. It would be great to pay people enough so that they could actually buy food that returned enough money to the farmer so the farmer could take care of his land. So that's why I'm sort of throwing my weight behind candidates whom I believe are heading in the right direction. Dave Zuckerman for sure. I don't know Mr. Aldrich, but I think you're of the same ilk. And where I live, Catherine Sims is running for state rep, and she was an apprentice on our farm in the year 2000, and she's got the possibility to bring new and fresh ideas to Montpelier to sort of restructure our property tax. But it's all about, I think, redistributing the wealth in our society down to sharing a little bit more of it with the rest of us. And when you live in a Horatio Alger world where we're a bunch of Europeans that came over here 300 years ago and just started moving east to west and exploiting and cutting down trees and burning out the land and moving on. Our culture is based on exploitation of peoples and of landscape, of black people, and we've got a lot of work to do. I mean, we're headed in the right direction, and we're certainly better than a lot of other places on earth, but I mean, we could take care of our people better. So I say, vote for Zuckerman and everybody else who's great. Thank you very much.
I also, since we're on the topic of cream and sugar and tastiness, can we just thank Jerry? He's been at many of these events, scooping out ice cream, supporting it, shout out. Ben and Jerry.
This is Jerry from Ben and Jerry's himself.
Real pioneers in the responsible business model and concept, and they've just stuck with it. Through supporting efforts like Rights and Democracy and so many other good efforts. So thank you, Jerry, for such good ice cream that even though I have a cold, I couldn't resist. So...
Hey, Dave, can I say one thing?
Of course.
Totally thrilled to be here, totally supportive. Just to let you know, Ben & Jerry's as a company does not support candidates, does not support political parties. The ice cream here tonight is personally donated, thrillingly personally donated.
Yay!
Kind of the standard disclaimer. The other thing is, there's going to be a lot of ice cream left over tonight. I am not taking it. If somebody doesn't figure out how to take it or put it in the freezer or whatever, it's going to melt. So I urge you guys, as a collective, figure it out. That's right.
Thank you. Ice cream should go to waste.
Well, and one more reason why we need cold winters, because we're going to just put it outside and kept it frozen. But thank you, and sorry to maybe mislead. So I'm glad you put out the disclaimer that it's Ben and Jerry as individuals who are have been so wonderful and helpful. Our next speaker is running for office locally. He's been endorsed by Rights and Democracy. He works the food line, serving up food, and is a fighter for workers' rights, and would be a real addition to the Vermont House from this area. And he's going to tell us a little bit about himself. Phil Aldrich, come on up.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Elise and Rights and Democracy for organizing the event. And thank you, everyone, for coming out. As I've been out canvassing, I've had the pleasure of getting to know many of you. For those of you that I haven't met yet, my name is Philip Aldridge. We will get to know each other. As David had said, I work in food service. Like so many young people, when I left university, I really struggled to find a job. I had a crippling amount of debt, and it was very difficult just to get by. Since that time, I've been fortunate enough that I have found reasonable employment. I work up at Linden State College in the food service department. I'm currently employed as their baker. Very low stress, wonderful job. Since the time that I've been there, I have managed to get myself up to a livable wage. A lot of people consider the livable wage to be about $15. I am very grateful for the amount of money that I am currently making since the time that I've been making that amount of money. And this is the best argument that I can make for anyone arguing against raising the minimum wage. Since the time I've been making $15 an hour, I've bought 2 cars and a house. Our economy is struggling. You want to talk about stimulating the local economy, raise the minimum wage. I don't know about you folks, but I spend my money here. Most people that I talk to while I've been out canvassing tell me that they spend their money here. If we could get more money into the pockets of hardworking Vermont families and help them hold on to that money, maybe we wouldn't have so many closed storefronts on Railroad Street, so many closed storefronts on Eastern Avenue. Our main streets have empty businesses. We as a state, we as a people, we as a community should be doing more to encourage local business growth. And it seems counterintuitive to say that raising the minimum wage is going to help local business grow. But as I've said, people who have their money here are going to spend their money here. I didn't intend to go on that rant, but I didn't prepare any remarks, so that's where I came to when I got up here. So I'm going to keep my remarks in anything after that quite short and just say that I'm looking forward to getting to the questions in the town hall portion of this. I really thank everyone for coming out. Just quickly, I'm running for state representative for St. Johnsbury. I love my community. I want to see my community be a better, healthier place, a stronger place, a safer place, a more vibrant community. I think that working with like-minded folks like David, like Scott, like Rights and Democracy, I think we have a real chance. I think the time is now. Senator Sanders in his presidential race really mobilized so many folks, and now is the time where we can affect real change in Montpelier. So I think that we all need to work together. We need to vote Democratic. We need to vote progressive. We need to do our research. We need to make sure that our neighbors, our friends, our family, everyone is voting. This late in the race, I really have to advocate for getting out the vote. When you go to vote, if you have not voted early, when you go to vote, before you go to vote, walk over to your neighbor's house, knock on their door, see if they've gone to vote. If not, drag them by force if you have to. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you, guys.
Okay, guys, this is Claudia with
Bill brought up a couple points, and Jackie
and
as well.
I just wanted to
those
show
of us who
you
run
a few
small
candidates
businesses,
in
it might be
Vermont.
counterintuitive.
I just wanted to give them a little shout out, and I wanted to hopefully also inspire some of you to run and some of you to take part in local town halls, in voting local, getting informed about your candidates where you live. I think it's vitally important, so please stay engaged. November 8th is a given that we are engaged. November 9th is when our work starts. So please stay engaged. Thank you so much. It's Claudia with Real Progressives. Bye-bye.